Hey guys, so I just wanted to come on here and state that the video I made earlier. So yes, I will say honestly, I do miss Kathleen. I mean, I will say, but she's having a lot of fun, and that's the thing is I'm glad she was able to go and see the world, see even though she's done it way more than I have. I wish I could do the same thing, but as something like a passport, that I mean, to do that you need a passport. I mean the thing is passports. I'm pretty sure you don't need a passport to go around the US, but you need one if you're going like around the world, like going overseas. You do need a car. So I know if you're going to Canada, you need to have it's a car. It's in card form. But you need to get like I think it's a card and I mean, if you're going to Canada, you're gonna want both your passport and the card that allows you to go to Canada. Um, So it's another way of obtaining a passport. But if I would say bring the passport and the card with you if you're go because Canada, as everybody knows, is not part of the United States. It's its own country. I know what was it the other couple last week I had to correct somebody because somebody had said to me, "Oh, well, I live in the country of Texas." And my response to it was, "You live in North America. That's a continent. Texas is a state within North America. It's a U.S. state, not a country." And hearing somebody state that Texas was a country, it's like I could write a book about that because it would be a fictional book that is giving out not real information or some sort of media like a film, the what is it, the country of Texas or something like that. But like Texas is not, why people even like that are just like totally oblivious to call it its own country. It's not. Texas is part of the unit. It's a state in the US in North America. But really, and I laughed at this after a while because it wasn't so much like something to get angry over. It's just how people just like are just they just don't think. It's like me saying Maine is a country where I know Maine is part of the U.S. just like Texas. But another interesting fact is that in the US, there's only two different states that actually are connected that you can drive right through without having to cross a body of water. And it's Maine and New Hampshire, meaning that you can drive right through them, no problem, because they're linked together. They're two different states, but they're like connected. They're without a body of water like a river basically separating them. But you can go from Maine right into New Hampshire. That's what they call as a connection, or not so much connection, but linked. They're almost like glued together. But it's actually those are the only two states that actually are not linked by a river system in order to cross. But it's really interesting that But if I type in right now, um, water states that no internet connection. There we go. So there's 48 contiguous states that are so they're all physically linked together as a single landmass, along with the District of Columbia. Especially if you include the two non contiguous states, Alaska and Hawaii. All 50 US states are politically and economically linked into one country. Yep. Actually, what are the US states that are linked without.
Are these? What are these?
I don't know.
You do know.
Yeah, I'll throw them out.
Huh?
I'll throw them out.
All right. There's some over there by the printer too.
Yep.
What are those two plastic things up there too? Those I put those together.
Yeah, I can throw those out.
Yeah. You gotta start doing that, Tom.
So yeah, so Maine and New Hampshire are deeply linked by geography, history, and shared infrastructure. The states share a
border. With the water, Tom?
What?
Are you messing with the water?
No. The states share a border extending from the White Mountains to the Atlantic Ocean. But the Isle of Shoals, this island chain sits about 6 miles off the coastline, is famously split between the two states. It says here that historical roots, Maine and New Hampshire were originally founded in the 1620s for trade and profit, rather than the strict religious governance that dominated Massachusetts in 1629. British proprietors Sir Fernando Georges and Captain John Mason split the region, with Mason naming his portion New Hampshire, while New Hampshire became a separate royal province in 1679. Maine remained a part of Massachusetts until achieving statehood in 1820. So yeah, they are so the school districts are definitely like linked, like yeah, meaning that like Maine and New Hampshire, you can go back and forth because like as I said, like you can drive through Maine and end up in New Hampshire like without, especially going from like Conway or North, so like Fryeburg leading you into Conway, but you're in New Hampshire at that point because there's a gas station called the State Line, and they call it that because that's the state line. So Fryeburg is actually like your, so going through Maine into New Hampshire, like Fryeburg's like your drop off into New Hampshire. But anyways, guys, I am going to end my live, but probably in a little bit we'll I'm going to actually read that bear book that I got about basically how humans are settling. So this book is actually about humans kind of like ignoring, or us ignoring, like the laws with bears, but like we're living amongst them. Like they're, like we're living amongst them. So I'm excited to start that book, since there's going to be a lot of like humor about that and stuff like that. And realistically, events like if we were to live under the bears and not them living under us, like I can actually kind of see that in like some areas like around the world. But I think, if I feel like if people, or I mean, I I do like that idea too, like because we always, animals are always like coming into cities because like we like to take from animals. I mean, but what if it was the other way around and we flipped it, where we had to survive with the animals being in control, or at least being animals, meaning they can go into grocery stores where humans wouldn't be able to do that. Like we'd be living outside in tents. So I'm very much looking forward to reading that book. But anyways, guys, I'm gonna end my live. Thank you all for watching. And just so you all know, when Kathleen comes back, um, I think once she fully settles in, we're gonna be starting that Beatles book very soon. She's already got her copy. I still need to get mine. Um, but thank you all for watching. But the book is called 1, 2, 3, 4. But I'm excited to start it.